John Eats Cheap, ready to make something cheap and tasty. On my salads, I love croutons. I love really good seasoned croutons, like Outback Steakhouse has great croutons. Dried bread, easy to make. Mrs. Cheap bought me a loaf on the way home of day old at Jimmy John's, 49 cents. And look at that, it's a whole loaf of the French bread. We're gonna make croutons out of it with butter and olive oil. And then our seasoning, I already have my crouton seasoning mixed up. It's granulated garlic, paprika, onion powder, a little garlic salt, and some Italian seasoning. Of course, you can use whatever flavors you like, but that's what I like, so let's get started here, all right? So first thing we're gonna do is slice up our bread. We're gonna make these in the air fryer because it's great for dehydrating or cooking on real low power. So I'm just gonna slice these about like this. I love croutons, and I love making them at home because you can make them exactly the way you want them. You can use regular bread. We just have to slice this, get it into the size that we want the croutons, and then we'll let them dry out for about an hour or so. By the way, I'm putting these in the air fryer, but I'm not turning it on yet. This is just if you have a pet like a cat that will, if you leave them out on the stove or on the counter, the animal will get to them. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so as you know, for my seasonings, I don't really do measurements like a half a teaspoon of this. I do more in parts. And my stronger ones, or the ones I don't need as much of, I'll just do partials. Like the paprika, you don't need a lot. The garlic salt, I don't want a lot. I want just a little bit of saltiness. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of paprika. I mean, this is, I suppose that's about a teaspoon and a half. I'm going to do the same with the garlic salt. Now I'll kind of double up on all the others because I like it really garlicky, right? So this is the granulated garlic or the garlic powder. And we like garlicky croutons, right? So we'll double that. Onion powder. Oh, this one's got a shaker on it, so I'm just going to have to kind of guess. But we like a lot of onion flavor, right? There's one. There's about two. You just have to guess sometimes. And then Italian seasoning, which usually has like, I don't know, a little red pepper. What's it got? Oregano, some basil. We get this at Graziano's, the 120-year-old Italian grocery store. So we'll do 2 spoons of that. And there we go. That's our seasoning. Just mix it up real well. There's our loaf of Jimmy John's bread in crouton sized. It's been drying out for about an hour and 15 minutes. I have a stick of melted butter. I'm going to add some olive oil. I don't know how much, just about this much. It's oil and butter. Mrs. Cheap is smiling because she's a real recipe person, and I'm like yeah, you know, you just put a little in. So we're drizzling the olive oil butter mixture on. We just want to mix it up, try and get it fairly evenly coated. Now we're going to add some of our seasonings that we made, and we'll just sprinkle this on. And that butter oil mixture will make it stick. You want to get it on there real good. Now we'll mix it up. Again, 49-cent loaf of bread, spices and butter you probably have in the house. This is about $1 for croutons, right? And as I said, they're great on a salad, but they're also good for just snacking on. This makes a good amount of croutons. And 1 loaf fits perfectly into my air fryer. If you have the same one I do that has 3 levels, it fits about perfectly, which is good. Sprinkle liberally again. You always hope you get that one crouton that has all the extra spice and stuff on it, right? Am I right or am I right? No croutons for the corgi. All right, we're down to our last bit of butter and olive oil. Pour it on, mix it up. And homemade croutons are so much better. And I'm telling you, if you serve croutons with your salad when company is there, especially the homemade ones, they will notice. For the Jimmy John's loaf of bread, 1 stick of butter, and I would guess probably I did a 1/4 cup of olive oil. But if you come in close here, you can see it's all pretty evenly coated. There's no butter or oil in the bottom. So you just mix it up and try and get it all, you know, there's not many dry spots. And we're going to add a little more seasoning. Like I say, you can go heavy on the seasoning because those are the really good croutons, right? Mix it up. And I think we're about ready to go into the dehydrator. We're going to go about 200 degrees. And I'll try and keep track of the time for you because I don't really know. First timer here. Now you could do these in the oven too. At you know, about the lowest setting your oven will go at, 200, 220, 225, something like that, maybe even 250. You just want to make sure they just dry out and they don't start turning brown. Because if they're brown, they're toasted instead of dried out. Now onto the racks they go. And you just want to kind of spread them out. They can be touching a little bit, but you know, just try and get them spread out evenly on the 3 racks so that they can dry out. There's one. 30 minutes in the air fryer. We're just going to check on. Ooh, those are pretty crispy. I think they're about done. Oh yeah. All right. I'm going to let them cool. There we go. 30 minutes, 200 degrees in the air fryer. Rehydrated, evenly coated. Perfect croutons, as we love to call them, Croutons. Look at that. Plenty there. These will last a couple of weeks in a Ziploc. They'll be great. Put them on a salad and press your company. 49-cent loaf of Jimmy John's bread. Are you kidding me? And look at that. I don't know what you would pay for that, but it would be many, many dollars. Johnny's Cheap Croutons.